$15, $20 a month. So that's how you can get started in iRacing. iRacing does have links to everything on their website. Green flag, we're back underway. Try to change some of the camera angles so we can get you some different views this week. We're watching the 16 of Dustin Hennigan. Here's a blimp view as they're 2x2 for the second spot. Casey Brunson. Can Casey Brunson come through the field here? We're on lap 6. Oh, he hits the leader. Here comes Dylan Blackburn to the inside. Oh, tough break for the Marshall Texan. He falls back into the third spot. Casey Brunson takes over second. We're watching the battle up front. Casey Brunson now to the back of Dylan Blackburn. They go into 1 and 2 this time down the back stretch. Can Casey Brunson make a run up to the 48 after getting into the 16? Casey Brunson from 9th to 2nd in this heat race. Walk you through the field. Daniel George Jr. did not get a favor of that heat race as around goes the 12X. That will bring out another caution. Trying to find the name on that 12X. Here, go to the sponsor sheet. I'm going to be honest with you, man. We're going to keep the chatter to the drivers. Sometimes the drivers need their own chat room. As green flag is back out, here comes Dustin Hennigan. He'll storm back to the inside, throw it across the nose and said, hey, I'm not too happy about what you did just there. Here comes Casey Brunson back to the inside, though he's not going away. That's going to be a battle for second. Off of turn number 2 they go this time to the outside. And Dustin Hennigan's going to blink a little bit. We're watching the battle for third here on the white flag lap. Looks like Dylan Blackburn going to get an easy heat race number 1 victory. Dustin Hennigan holds on to second. Third goes to Casey Brunson. Fourth goes to Henry Smith. Fifth will go to Broxton Malone to round out your top 5. Thank you all for tuning in here to the second round of the Lone Star Modified Series as we get ready to go. Green flag, we're underway. And Westy timed that start to a T. Here comes Tyler Autry as things get worse for wear. Tyler Autry's upside down. Red flag, red flag, red flag. And 8th and 9th is Jet Hefty. As Westy maybe caught him sleeping on the start, but spins the tires. Here comes Mason Martin down to the inside. Mason going to take the lead, slips up into the outside wall. Here comes Colton Whitworth, 2x2 behind him for the third spot. Here comes Dusty Lee through the middle. As we are watching that battle develop, Mason Martin gets into the outside wall. We're watching the POV of Westy. Westy into the outside wall, got sent up there. Westy goes around, gets into Tate Reynolds. Oh my goodness. 7th is Westy. 8th is Caden Davies as we get ready to go back racing here at the I-55 Speedway. Let's try to get these last 7 laps under control. We're going to watch Dusty Lee Jr. as they go off 2x2 into turn number 1 and 2 this time by Mason Martin. Going to grab the lead over the 12K of Colton Whitworth. Colton Whitworth not going away as he's going to be knocking on the door, as our boy Zach Clark would say. And it's still going to be a 3-pony race up front. Here comes Cameron Williams as it looks like Tate Reynolds having some issues. He'll fall all the way back into the 8th position. Coming off the corner this time by Dusty Lee Jr. trying to catfish around the 12K. Dusty Lee, a graduate of the Junior Limited Modifieds, current Junior Limited Modified driver. Battling at him, that's the 12K Colt Whitworth trying to say, hey son, let me see how it's done. As we have a battle shaping up now for the 4th spot between the 87 of Cameron Williams and the 111 Jet Hefty. Let's try to see if we can go on board with that 88, see what he's seeing. Down to the inside, we'll switch up some POVs. That looks to be Mason Martin's got a nice little race on sticker right there. As Mason Martin already is getting a protest. Looks like we have a POV of the battle for 4th going on right now. That looks to be, I believe that's Westy's car. As we are switching through the competitors. Oh, nice slider throw, and that's going to be the battle for 4th. We're watching Cameron Williams right now as we'll switch through battle for 4th as they're still battling for the lead. They're throwing sliders and haymakers on each other. Here comes Dusty Lee to the outside. That's still a battle for 2nd here on the last lap. Coming out of 3 into 4 for the final time. Mason Martin will win. Dusty Lee takes 2nd over Colton Whitworth, who will finish 3rd. 4th will go to Cameron Williams, Jet Hefty, Landon Westerman, Tate Reynolds, Caden Davies, and Tyler Autry will round out. I hope it's Jermaine. Zachary Jermaine Clark sounds awesome.
Green flag.
As Grayson Lee takes us deep into the start zone. Oh, problems for Grayson Lee on the start. Landon Capps gets into him. There might be wrecking behind him. Here comes the flying flagman, Kevin Fry. Out of 3 into 4, and the caution comes out. as we are watching Zachary J. Clark. Grayson Lee's going to get another chance to lead these guys back to the green.
Green flag, green flag.
Looks like the 116 of Troy Shirley getting removed as green flag is back out. We're going to try to get you some of this action here. Zachary J. Clark off to an early lead. Into turns number 3 and 4 they go this time by, where you're flipping through the cameras. Here's the battle. Here comes Landon Katz. He won at Huset's. Another tight quarters track. Here comes Landon Katz. He'll throw the slider on Zachary Clark. Zachary Clark will return the favor. Colton Birmingham up to the 5th spot, battling with the 5 at Cutter Bell here. As Grayson Lee has fallen all the way back into the 7th position. Kevin Fry up to a respectable 3rd. He's been getting a lot faster on iRacing. But meanwhile, the battle is all up front. Here comes the 717, throws the slider. Here comes the return. Crossover back underneath. It's not going to work. Landon Katz now will proceed to throw his own slider into turns number 1 and 2. This time by Zachary Clark, going to try to return the flavor here into 3 and 4. Another slider by Zach Clark on the 69. Meanwhile, here comes flying Kevin Fry underneath. It's going to be a 3-car race. Throw a blanket all over the top 3 here with 5 more laps to go. They're getting into the wall. They are throwing sliders. They are all over each other. They want this heat race win just as bad as you fans want them to have it. Landon Katz going to lead that one at the line. Going to have 4 more laps to go this time by. Here comes Zach Clark. He'll return the favor. He'll throw his own slider into 3 and 4. Does Landon Katz have the crossover? When does Kevin Fry make his move? Landon Katz has the crossover. He will lead the lap. So advantage right now looks like it will go to Landon Katz here in a slider fest. Here comes Kevin Fry back to the inside. He'll block the slider from Zach Clark. Zach Clark going to ride the pine to the outside this time by. 3-car humdinger for first right now with 2 more laps to go. Zach Clark in the tail tank of the 69 of Caps, trying to cause some separation. Clark to the outside, hasn't been able to throw that slider. Kevin Fry settles in a good 3rd spot with the white hanky out this time by. One more time for the 69X of Landon Katz. Does the 717 have anything for him? No, he will race him clean and say, I'll get you in the feature. Landon Katz wins heat race number 3. 2nd goes to Zach Clark. 3rd will go to Kevin Fry. 4th looks like he'll go to Cutter Bell. 5th to Colton Birmingham. Coming up right here in short order on the right foot of Casey Brunson. Who will advance? Who will go home? Green flag. We're back underway. Off into turns number 1 and 2 they go this time by. They're making a little bit of contact. We're watching Kevin Fry. Looks like the 18S of Blaine Smith gets into somebody back there. Will it bring out a caution flag? No, we're going to stay clean and green as Cameron Williams gets into somebody. Around goes Jet Hefty on the front stretch. That'll bring out a caution. Going to have to go all the way around back to Jet. We'll take a look here going through the pace car. So it looks like Caden Davies sits in 19th. 18th is Tyler Autry as green flag is back out here. Oh, Grayson Lee might have just felt the announcer's curse as he goes around. Back there, Landon Westerman, 4th in this B main as we're going to get ready to go back racing here. 3 laps down, 12 laps to go. Top 10 are going to advance. Green flag is back out. Watching Casey Brunson going to get into the outside wall here. We're going to go back to the field. Daniel George gets into the wall. We're going to go back here and watch some of the competitors try to compete. Tate Reynolds right now, first car out. So Reynolds out. Smith is in. Looks like Blaine Smith gets into the outside wall. They're going to be tangled. Case and Caps. Oh, flip counter number 2. Flip counter number 3. 2 cars upside down. Here in the B main, taking 10. Of course, we can't rely on the old iRacing right now as green flag is back out here in our B main. One and only B main on the night. Off into turns number 1 and 2 they go this time by. We're going to be watching Blaine Smith, watching them come off the corner here. Beautiful blimp view as, the 10 of Casey Brunson into the outside wall. That might bring out a caution. It will. Tough break there for Casey Brunson. He was in our top 2. Let's see what happened. No, that's right now. Who has that hungry pack of hounds behind him, trying to hold him off. Those are your 10 going to the feature so far. Green flag, we're back underway. Switch to camera modes. Here comes the slider on Cameron Williams. Back out up front, and Caden Davies around in what could be. I think it's now time to start asking the chats for our PSGs as the green flag is back out. So it looks like Cade Davies did get back out. The 12X calls it quits as we're watching through the field. Jet Hefty, that might be his B main as he goes a lap down. Meanwhile, back out front, it's Colton Birmingham gets into the side of the 22S of Henry Smith. That's going to be a battle for the third spot. Coming off of turn number 3 and 4, it's good to call some green flag racing. Oh, hold on to it. Colton Birmingham, yes, he will hold on to it. Birmingham continues to hold on to the 4th and 5th spot. We will try to see that battle for a transfer spot there. As Cameron Williams into the outside wall, that's going to be a race for second as everyone's chasing the tail tank a little Colton Whitworth right now. As a caution on lap 10, so Lennon Westerman 16th, 15th is Daniel George. All get stacked up. Thank you, Tommy Jordan. Let's get the PSGs in the chat. Green flag, we're back underway. So watching the battle right here. Autry in, Brunson out. Autry gets into the outside. This is a race for the transfer spot. Can Casey Brunson, one of our fast qualifiers tonight, I believe he was the third fastest in practice overall, but he's one spot out. Kaysen Katz is out. Here he comes to the inside, makes a little bit of contact. He threw a big slider on Dustin Hennigan in the heat race. Will we see that here? 4 more laps to go. Brunson to the inside. Blaine Smith getting into it. Blaine Smith back in the 9th position. In the turn number 3 and 4 they go. Here comes Kaysen Katz to the outside. At this time of the line, Brunson still out. Autry still in. Here comes Kaysen Katz. He throws the slider. No, they make a little bit of contact. Autry out. Brunson out. Katz in. Brunson's around. Oh my goodness. No one making friends, and Brunson gonna clip and ruin Katz. Autry back in on the white flag. Does Brunson get in? Contact. Autry around. Here comes Kevin Fry. Fry is in! Autry is out! Brunson is out! Katz is out! Oh my goodness! And the microphone is peaking. The cops are on the way to my apartment for a noise complaint. Oh my God, what a finish. Say what you want to say about contact. Say what you want to say. What a finish there for the final spot, as we will go back and watch it again, and you gotta be feeling for the 54 of Tyler Autry. A situation that had nothing to do with him costed him a spot in tonight's A main, and I am feeling for him. It is heating up, Zach Clark, and my vocal cords are shot. Let's go back here. We're going to come to 2 laps to go here. Brunson is in. Katz is out. Katz throws the slider. Gets into Brunson. Autry is out. Watch back here. Brunson going to return the favor. Gets a little bit loose. Kevin Fry will continue to be sneaking up. Watching the 54 of Autry. Straight line by Brunson. And Brunson is out. Brunson gets in the back. Tyler Autry into the inside wall. And Kevin Fry will advance to tonight's A main.
green flag.
Mike is muted. Dylan Blackburn continues to lead this feature back to the front. Mason Martin into the outside wall. He'll lose one position. He'll lose two positions. He's into the outside wall. He will keep it going. No, caution comes out for the 222 champion in the Southern Sport Mods. As we will be watching them go back green here. Green flag. We're back underway. We're watching the POV from Dustin Hennigan. Off into turns number 1 and 2, they go this time by. This time, Caps is going to try to get a run to the outside. Drops down the hill. Here comes the slider from Caps. It gets into Blackburn. Blackburn's upside down. Oh, huge pile up into turns number 3 and 4. That'll probably put Caps at the back. As green flag is back out, and we are back underway. 10 laps in. We're a quarter of the way through this race. To the inside, here comes Tate Reynolds. He will challenge now for the 6th spot as Cutter Bell able to take away the top 5 spot. Gets into the 87 to Cameron Williams to the outside. Here comes Kevin Fry back in. Fry back into the top 5. Meanwhile, they're 2x2 for second. Colton Whitworth and Broxton Malone throwing sliders for second. We got someone blinking here in the middle of the pack. It's the 222 on Mason Martin. As we have another one upside down, that's going to be the 55, and Clayton Stevenson's going to bring out another caution. Oh my goodness, boys. PSG, PSG, PSG. Looks like Hannigan. I think the 717 is retired. So green flag. We're going to be watching the restart here from Broxton Malone. Off of turns number 1 and 2. They go this time by Whitworth, able to get him on the outside. Here comes Whitworth to the back of the 88 of Dusty Lee. Watching Broxton Malone here. Whitworth to the inside. They're going to both hit the wall. Whitworth going to get the worst of that exchange. Here comes Broxton Malone for second. Broxton Malone along with Fly and Kevin Fry. Slider coming in this time for second. Broxton Malone has it for a moment. We'll lose it to the young Whitworth. Whitworth going to throw a slider of his own. Here comes Kevin Fry. Mix it up. We're going to have 3-car battle for the second spot right now. Dusty Lee Jr. doesn't have a mirror, but he likes what he's seeing behind him. Off into turns number 3 and 4 they go. This time by Fly and Kevin Fry, trying to put it on a podium position. Kevin Fry to the inside, not going to use the momentum here. Colton Whitworth, Broxton Malone, Kevin Fry, throw a blanket over here, but they're starting to reel in Dusty Lee. Whitworth into the outside wall again. Looks like, is that Colton Birmingham up into the 6th position right now? Cutter Bell getting involved right now in a battle for 4th between him and Kevin Fry. So we'll watch that battle here between Fry and Cutter Bell. Looks like that one's going to dissipate. Here comes Colton Birmingham knocking on the door of the top 5 as Broxton Malone to the back of the 88 X of a Little Freaky. Or what freaky is Dusty Lee Jr.? This is someone type in the comments what freaky is Dusty Lee Jr. But meanwhile, it's going to get freaky behind him because here comes Broxton Malone all over the back tail tank as the caution comes out yet again. 15 cars. We got 21 laps to go. Green flag. We're back underway. Sorry, 22 laps to go. On the outside, Broxton Malone going to try to use that outside to get a slingshot around the 88 of Dusty Lee Jr. Dusty Lee goes to the bottom. Will return the slider favor to try to block Broxton Malone. Broxton was expecting that. Here comes Malone to the inside. We got a race for the lead. Dusty Lee into the outside wall. Broxton Malone going to give him the lane to get the lead back here. Kevin Fry up to 3rd. Along with Colton Birmingham. Whitworth back into the 5th position. Here comes Landon Katz. Landon Katz back up to 6th. into turn number 1 and 2. It's Little Trouble, not Little Freaky. Thank you. Little Trouble. He's going to have has a handful of Broxton Malone right behind him. That's going to be a race for the lead. Kevin Fry holds on the third. They're 3 wide off of turn number 3 and 4 for that 5th spot. Here comes Malone back to the inside. Still watching Little Trouble. Whitworth to the back bumper of Kevin Fry. That's going to be a race for 3rd. Down some Busch Latte. Here comes Colton Birmingham for 4th. If the announcer would stop trembling over his words, man, we'd have a good race. Here comes Broxton Malone back to the inside this time by. We are past the halfway point, into the second half of the race. Still a long way to go here at the I-55 Speedway, but it's going to click off here in a hurry. Broxton Malone continues to ride the pine as Dusty Lee tries to pull away from him. Dusty Lee continuing as the caution does come back out. A 16-lap shootout. These guys race more than 16 laps on an average weekend. Green flag, we're back underway. Off into turns number 1 and 2 they go this time by. Dusty Lee continues to lead, but here comes Broxton Malone to the outside. Here comes Broxton's best chance. Dusty Lee going to throw it down underneath. Broxton's going to block. Coming off of turn number 4. Your new leader is the 21 of Broxton Malone. Here comes the 12 of Colton Whitworth to the outside. Whitworth gets into the marbles into the outside wall. Broxton Malone continues to lead. Dusty Lee sliding back. Here comes Landon Katz. It's an LCD train on the outside of the DDR number 88 XX. 3 cars up there for the lead. Meanwhile, they're battling hard back there for the 4th spot. That's going to be Dylan Blackburn, Kevin Fry, Colton Birmingham. Colton Birmingham takes 4th off of the rip there. Tate Reynolds there, and here comes Dustin Hennigan. Continuing to watch this battle for 4th. Meanwhile, up front, it's getting interesting. Little Whitworth to the back bumper of Broxton Malone. That's going to be for the lead. Whitworth gets a little bit out of shape, but he stays with him. Down the back stretch they go this time by. Little Whitworth is there. Continues to ride the pine as the caution comes back out. The flag is back out. We're back underway.
Green flag, green flag.
Off into turns number 1 and 2 they go this time by. Colton Whitworth going to ride the pine. Here comes Landon. Katz gets to the outside of him. Katz gets into Whitworth. It's going to cause a huge pileup. And the caution flag is back out. And that all started with Landon Katz. Just got into the slick, kept his foot in it. And sometimes that's just racing right there. That just happens. Dusty Lee back up to 2nd after that melee. Dylan Blackburn in 3rd now. It looks to be a single file restart. Green flag, we're back underway. Dusty Lee back to the inside of Broxton Malone. That's where Broxton got him. Broxton got him on the outside last time. Dusty Lee going to try to get him on the inside. As everybody's shuffling for spots, Kevin Fry had a bad restart. He'll fall way back. How about Clayton Stevens? Clayton Stevens up in the top 5 of that 55 car. Into turn number 3 and 4 they go this time by 88 XX. Dusty Lee Jr. is going to battle with the 48 of Dylan Blackburn. They were battling for this spot last week. Into turns number 3 and 4 this time by a little bit of a slider between Hennigan and Clayton Stevens. So Dusty Lee Jr. continuing the battle. Clayton Stevens battling with the 16 JR of Dustin Hennigan. A lot of dirt racing experience on the track right now. We have some good racing here with 5 more laps to go for Broxton Malone. We got one to the outside wall. That's Tate Reynolds. Will it bring out a caution? No, we're going to stay green. Meanwhile, back up front and starting to develop into a 3-car race here as we got sliders going on through the field back here. Let's go back and watch the Slider Fest. Kevin Fry, Colton Whitworth, Blade Smith, Dustin Hennigan, Clayton Stevens, Connor Bell throwing sliders on each other. How about this back here, boys? It's a mess to get through. Meanwhile, back up front, Broxton Malone continues. He has the 2 guys behind him. We are going to come to 2 laps to go. Double chopsticks in the air. Slider not going to throw as we are going to have a 2-lap shootout to finish this one. 6th. Looks like green flag. We're back underway. 2-lap shootout. 2 laps to go. Here comes Dusty Lee Jr. to the outside. trying to wind up the momentum to throw a slider on the 21B. Off into turns number 3 and 4 they go this time by. He will follow Broxton Malone, but he is there. White flag is out. One more lap to go here for the Lone Star Modified Series. Dusty Lee to the outside. We can expect a slider to the inside. Here comes Dylan Blackburn off of turn number 3 and 4 for the final time. Broxton Malone blocks the slider attempt. Coming off of 3 and 4 this time. Broxton Malone wins the second race at I-55. Dusty Lee finishes second. Dylan Blackburn going to hold on to third. Cutter Bell for Dustin Hennigan, your top 5. As the bottom Texas driver tries to do some donuts, ends up putting it upside down. Flip counter number 4. We will drag them into the Discord, and we will talk to our top 3. But how about it, folks, for the bottom Texas driver, Mr. Broxton Malone? A little congratulations tap, or whatever you want to call it. As Carson Cherry, if you can get our top 3 into the Discord, please, so we can talk to them. We'll be talking with the winner, tonight's winner, the 21B of Mr. Broxton Malone. So Broxton will park it there in Federated Auto Parts I-55 Speedway Victory Lane. As here we go. We're going to drag our winner in. Broxton, you got me?
Hello?
You got me, Broxton?
Hey, this is...
We can hear you on the broadcast, buddy. Congratulations tonight. Talk about that move going around the outside of Dusty Lee Jr.
Dude, I'm just daddy, dude.
This is daddy. All right, well, man, explain how the track was tonight. Did that dust that came in, did that dust factor come in and be a factor as it was earlier in the week?
What?
Was the dust any of the factor? Well, okay, Brox, do you have anyone you want to thank on this race car?
Myself. An LCD.
All right. Well, Broxton, we congratulate you on the win tonight, and we hope to see you out here next week with the Lone Star Modified Series. Thank you. Talking with our second place finisher here, Mr. Dusty Lee Jr. And Dusty, another one, a close second again. Just explain what happened. How did Broxton get there on the outside?
He got me on the restart, and kind of got hung on the bottom and kind of got freight train there.
Well, man, I was trying to ask Broxton. We were having a bit of a communication issue. Earlier in this week, we joined in here at the I-55 Raceway, and the dust was just terrible. Was the dust any a bit of a factor trying to navigate through the heat race or in that feature?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. There'll be times that I'll go down the corner and you'll make a 50-50 guess of if there's a car up there, you really can't see nothing.
Well, man, what are you going to throw at this thing next week to try to put this thing in victory lane?
We're going to try to get the DDR setups a little faster, and I need to work on my right rear was gone there at the end of the race. I need to work on saving my tires a little and just need a little more speed.
Well, man, who do you want to thank on this number 88XX machine?
DDR Speed Shop, you for broadcasting, and Carson for putting this on.
That's Dusty Lee finishing second tonight. Thank you. Talking with our third place finisher this week, Mr. Dylan Blackburn. And Dylan, man, you had the lead there for, I believe you started on the pole, had the lead there for a little bit. Something unfortunate happened. Just explain how this race went from your POV.
Went 7th to 1st in the heat race. Car was really, really fast, but I got some good brakes in the heat race. Started on the pole, led the first 8 or 9 laps probably. Got wiped out, is what it is. Went to the tail, had like a solid 15 green flag laps to try to get back up to the front. Had a couple of run-ins with certain people. Got back up to the front, didn't have enough laps. And I was battling with Dusty each time I would try to make something happen. Caution would come out. It's tough, but I think both me and Dusty have passed in again in points, so I guess that's a positive from today. Looking forward to next week.
Well, let's talk about it, man. You and Dusty were locked in the battle there, and that kind of let Broxton scamper away just a bit, man. If y'all would have, do y'all think if y'all would have just kind of stayed in line, built up the momentum, you would have had enough to get around Broxton?
Honestly, no. I was so much faster than both of them, especially on that last green white checkered. I had a horrible restart. I was about like 5 car lengths back, and I caught all the way back up to their bumper. So I don't really think Dusty had anything for Brox, but I think if I could have passed Dusty before that caution, I might have had something. But again, if I never got wiped out, I probably would have checked out.
Well, man, I know it always sucks getting wiped out, but you seem pretty calm about it right now. What kind of calm do you have to make it back through a field after an incident like that?
I mean, it is really frustrating, and it almost brings out the worst in me, but then I think about all the people that have gotten penalized for acting on their emotions, so I just kept my head down, tried to fight for what I could get so I could stay in this points fight, and it ended up turning out pretty good.
Well, thank you, Dylan. Who do you have that you want to thank on this virtual number 48 machine?
Majula Say Speed Shop, Kevin Fry, Cameron Williams, the Smiths, everybody else at K&D Racing, Kusha Pusha Media, Mr. Smooth Race Wraps, and Cody Lewis for putting on the stream.
Well, that's Dylan Blackburn on the 48, man. We'll see you next week.
All right, see ya.
So that is going to do it here from the Federated Auto Parts I-55 Speedway. We want to thank you for tuning in for tonight's Lone Star Modified Series action. We will see you next Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for all the condensed replays on the Freckled Ginger YouTube channel. And you can watch, of course, go back and watch the full live replays on this Facebook channel. I've been Cody Lewis. We'll play the associate sponsors, we'll play the full sponsors, and we'll get on out of here. Thank you, and good night.